Welcome to Bags, Buckets, and Bins. I'm Lisa, and on today's video, first of all, thank you for sharing your time with me. And I have been planning to use irrigation in my garden for the first time as a gardener, and I looked up the many different ways you could, drip irrigation automatic. It looked complicated. I know once you get started, it's not complicated. I get it. But because I have buckets, different buckets, so many different buckets, I didn't want to do that. So I went a different route. Did some research and saw that other people are doing. Let me get the name of it real quick. I decided to go with gravity feed. I watched a few YouTube videos, and I think this will be really helpful with watering in my summer garden, spring and summer. So this is just my attempt to get it right, using 5-gallon buckets. I'm planning on having the black buckets be on the bottom, so I'll be taking this out and just putting my heavy material, which will probably be some wood in here, and then sit the gravity bucket on top. So I'm going to show you all the materials that I'm using. First, you're going to need a drill. I went with this so I can get different sizes, but the size you'll want to use is 1 1/8. You're going to need a spigot. I went with this, and everything will be linked below once I get a chance to put it in the description. This is 3/4 inch to 3/4 inch on the other side, so the whole thing is 3/4. And depending on what you want, once you connect it, depending on what size tubing you want, it's up to you. I went with 1/4 inch, so the one side is 3/4, connecting the adapter to the 3/4 side, and then the 3/4 goes to the 1/4 tubing. Then you're going to need pieces to plug the ends of the tubing. You need some of these. You need some of these to stop the plug at the end. And of course, you're going to need drip emitters. These are the wrong ones, but I'm just showing you what you can. This is typically what you see people putting in here, but I'm going to go with a tubing that I don't have to poke a hole. I just slip it in both sides, but Amazon hasn't delivered it yet. You're also going to need tubing cutter. If you're going to use like maybe a 1/2 inch tubing, then you need one of these guns to make the hole, or something to press the hole in. And tubing, your size of choice. I went with a 1/4 inch. This right here is optional. They're filters. Sorry for the dirty fingernails, guys. I'm working in the garden. But these are the filters that go, and you take this out and it goes inside just to catch anything that won't clog your tubing up. So that's the helpful part. So let's build one and let's get started. First thing you want to do is make your hole. I go up a thumb's length. Some people go closer to the bottom because they want all the water to run out. I don't want that. I'm going up a little higher so that I can always have water at the bottom, so that the wind won't knock the bucket over. So I'll go well, from my thumb, whole thumb up. Let me just make sure it fit in there a little bit more. All right. So you'll want to unscrew the washer. This is the Bulkhead, I think. I forget the name of it, but they both have a washer on one end and a washer on this end. A washer on one end and a washer on this end. Stick this inside. Put the washer on this one and screw it. I'm not going to tighten this because I'm not prepared to use these quite yet. I'm just putting them together. And when everything comes in from Amazon, I'll get to tighten them. So that's how that fits on here. And this is the spigot. You want to take the washer that's already in there out, because we're using the filter spigot, washer, rubber washer inside. You can, if you want to, put plumber's tape around the treading, but I don't want to do that right now. So I'm just putting this on. Slightly. Okay, that's on. Now, next. So this is the piece that's really important. This is where you'll stick the tubing in. I'll show you that in a moment. Again, I'm going from a 3/4 spigot. The whole thing is 3/4. Then I'm going to add a 3/4 adapter that adapts, goes from 3/4 to 1/4 to fit the 1/4 tubing. Let me turn it off. Alright, so this is the tap, the cup, and then your tubing fits right in here, on here, like this. Oh, put the cap on, and then I've read you can warm this up to loosen it. You can. I'm just gonna stick it on here temporarily. Stick it in here. and tighten that up, right? So this is the goal. That's how you put it together. I'm gonna have wood in the bottom to hold it steady. The water is gonna hold this steady. So let's go in the garden and see how it will look in the garden. Okay, for this gravity feed, for this line, for this row right here, I'm gonna sit the bucket here, right here. It's up high enough. Failed to mention, you're also going to need some staples to hold the tubing down in the containers. So this is where you're going to need the line tubing cutter and your plugs. Now, I don't know how much tubing this is going to be. Gardeners that are more particular would have already measured this. I'm just curious to know how much tubing from there to here is going to be. So let's see. So roughly between 15 and 16 feet. And I got 100 feet of tubing. So I got plenty. I'll put some bricks in here. Alright, let's bring you in closer to see how I tie down the lines. I should just do a test run, punch some holes in here for you guys to see. I'm gonna cut it like right around here. And this is where you would put a plug so the water won't just run out to the end. Alright. Okay. So I'm going to show you how it looks like from the end to the... So let's fill this up with water. Be right back. Okay, I got some water in it. interested to see something here. If I take the plug off here, I can see if the water is running all the way down. All right. Water's 3/4 full. And we open it. No water yet. Oh, there we go. Took a second. Hey! Drip wine. In and working. So, even with the tubing going up and over, it still is going to make it to the end. So, okay guys, it's the next day. The piece came in, and I got the cutter, so let's get it started. Right now there is water in the bucket. I have it turned off at the spigot. So we're gonna start at the beginning. Okay. So I said I was gonna do 2 in these long containers. Well, they're 40-gallon containers. I was gonna do one here and one here. And so let's get started. These right here are 1/4 inch. You just stick it in here and stick it in here. No punching holes. Get it right here. See if you can see. One end cut. Just stick it in like so, like so. Okay, hopefully this is better. So just pop it in here. Stick it in. And I know you're wondering, will it come loose? Nope. You have to push it in and take it out at the same time in order for it to come loose. Alright, so let's test this, see, before we get started, if I have to open it or adjust the emitters. Alright. Yep. I want to slow that down. Okay, we'll run out of water real fast, won't we? I wonder how long it take to run out of water. Let me see. I can also control the flow right here. Okay. Yep. Okay, so it works. So let's keep it moving on down the line. I'm thinking there's a drip here. I don't need that much water dripping. I just need the drip, slow drip here. Here we go. We got some action here. Finally got some action here. And the last one. I want a slow drip. I mean, it's only a 5-gallon bucket. Okay, everybody. So, officially have drip line, gravity feed drip line set up in my containers. I really didn't need to cut here. I was going to make 2, but I can just turn one off. So, yeah, it's going very well. I just gotta check and see maybe how to increase the pressure. It could be I don't have everything connected. Well, or maybe, yeah, no, it's up high enough. I also found out that for these containers I'm gonna need to put the bottom on a block. And this ain't it. Let me show you. In order for it to be high enough, set it on a this is probably 2-inch block. Yeah, so it'll need to be up that high. But yay, I'm so happy. I'm gonna have help with not only watering but feeding, because I will be adding fertilizer, water soluble fertilizer in here. So it'll be getting water and food. So one right here, one right here, one right here, each one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know about the 7 over there. I might just water that myself. That last row with the 3 buckets, I'll probably just water that myself. But alright, I thank you so much for making it this far in the video and seeing what I'm doing in my garden. Tell a friend, tell a friend. I'm having so much fun. I'm gardening, and I am still learning. 3 years in, still learning, still figuring out stuff, still trying to get my garden to a baseline point where I want to be, so that I don't always feel like I'm starting over, but I'm having fun in the process. Okay? Alright, y'all. See you in the next one.